protect the wild.
It's too bad that Paladin didn't win. Paladin is actually my least played class, so I was hoping to catch up, but alas. So card draw or the Knife Juggler. We're gonna take Knife Juggler. I know Nourish is great and all, but it's just nice to have solid 2 drops. And 3 drops. Drew the Claw Spectacular. So I'm actually considering Archmage here, which old me would never have done, but it is spell damage is great for druids. Swipe, Wrath, Starfall, even Starfire maybe, are really great with spell damage, especially the Swipe and the Wrath. And it's a really big body. But I might end up with a high curve if I do that. That'd be a little bit greedy. Alright, we'll take another Premier 2-drop then, keep the curve lower. Tough call though. Alright, random 2-drop or Innervate. I'm not going to go for the Soul of the Forest Gambit. Let's go ahead and take Innervate. This one might be too many 2-drops, although this one is usable later on in the game as well. We'll try it over the Farseer. Uh-oh. I don't like this at all. Now I've got way too many 2-drops, and I don't want a second Innervate. So we're taking this, but no more 2-drops, please. Thanks. Okay, bye. Silence or charge damage. It's a tough call. I will take the Stormwind Knight and hope that I get a Keeper of the Grove for my silencing. Boulder Fist Ogre. Yes, please. I don't want more 2-drops, so Twilight Drake is going to get taken. I don't want more 2-drops, but this is junk, and this guy at least can double his damage / reach. Oh my god, I really should not have taken that Fairy Dragon. I wish this were an Archmage so bad now. This I don't want to take. I don't want it to be in the deck, so I'll take this for some taunting. Wrath is a 2-drop, but it's removal, so that's okay. What is this? I guess I'm taking a Ventricle Mercenary. Druid of the Claw or the Gnomish Inventor. Druid of the Claw here is a bit greedy. The Gnomish Inventor is probably the right pick. It's more on curve and it gives me some card draw. I will take the Gnomish Inventor, trust my instincts. Take a Starfire here. Both deal equal damage, but the Starfire is not limited by taunt. Claw is great. Dark Iron Dwarf is great. Hardened Squire is great. Violet Teacher or Bite. Bite is removal. It's not very good removal, but sometimes bad removal is better than no removal. Violet Teacher is a fantastic 4-drop. We'll take her. I could live to regret that. Alright, Savage Roar or Rifleman. Rifleman is playable as a druid, especially because you can shapeshift for an extra point of damage. Savage Roar, though, for the kill. We'll take the Savage Roar. Mark of Nature to give something taunts. Here I'll take a second Druid of the Claw. And I can take another Druid of the Claw or an Ironbark. This might seem crazy, but I think if you're taking a card here that's expensive, the Druid of the Claw is better. It comes 3 turns earlier and it does about the same thing the Ironbark does. So I'm actually going to take the Druid if I were to choose between one of these. However, the Stormwind Knight is tempting. But then again, this is fine. We'll take it. The taunt is nice. The versatility is nice. Some folks have pointed out that Power of the Wild is great with Violet Teacher because it makes the students better. I agree, so I'll take that over a second Savage Roar. Wild Growth, I don't think so. I'll just take the Wolf Rider for some damage. I don't want a 2-drop, so even though I don't like him, I will... Actually, wait a minute. I really don't want more 5-drops here. This is a lot already. 3, 4... 5, 6? I guess not that much. I could take this. This thing is so crappy. We'll take the Warlord. I'm not happy about it, though. Auctioneer is pretty good with Innervate and Claw. Savagery is okay with Claw, and otherwise it's junk. We'll take it. It's a bit risky, though. I don't want to take more expensive things if I can avoid it. And indeed, it looks like I'll be able to avoid it. So, very heavy on the mid-game here. Lots of 4s and 5s. So, as long as I don't lose in, like, the first few turns... I think this deck is going to be pretty strong. Chaz is shocked I didn't take the Ironbark. Well, I would have probably taken it over the Stormwind Knight, but it seemed really weird to take it over the Druid of the Claw, because the Druid of the Claw can charge, it can act as removal, and it has 6 health as taunt instead of 8 health as taunt. However, that is a fair price to pay for having 3 less mana to spend. So I think it was fine. But I wouldn't hold it against anyone who picked an Ironbark there.
Malfurion versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, I must protect the wild.
Baron of Fate comically says it. You have lots of 2s to balance things out. I see great things in this deck. Wait, did you get any swipes? Nope. No swipes here. So, Leopard Gnome was pretty good for my opponent there. Stopped me from playing a Panther. Now, shapeshifting is the right play. Either I shapeshift and kill it, or I Panther and kill it. Might as well shapeshift, because that way I don't lose a card for no reason.
The light protects me.
Don't forget that wow, everyone's like all depressed in the chat because I didn't get any swipes. Don't forget I've got shapeshift. I mean, that's pretty good. Look at this crazy mess of 4-drops in my hand. If I can just like hang on for dear life with Senjin and the Druid, it's gonna be totally fine, guys. So he's only got 3 mana here. What's he gonna possibly do?
I wonder.
For the crusade!
Alright, he's got lots of Divine Shields, no Blood Knight for me, unfortunately. So, here we go. Senjin. Kill top totem. Pass the turn. Too bad I didn't get Scarlet Crusader 1 turn earlier. I could have actually played her at the time I played this, which would have been much better. So Shapeshift can finish these things off if I can just break the Divine Shields, or if my opponent breaks the Divine Shields for me.
What to do?
You call that
Alright, so he has a pretty elegant way of dealing with the Senjin. Dark Iron Dwarf is pretty much the one card in the world I did not want to see right there. So next turn I can either Scarlet Crusader Shapeshift kill his Scarlet Crusader, but I think it's actually better just to play the the Druid of the Claw. If he has a Hex, then he has a Hex. So be it. Alright, this is actually really good, so what I can do now is do this, and then Innervate, Shapeshift, kill that thing off, kill that thing off, and pass the turn. So again, if I can just hold on, if I can actually get this kill right here, and then on turn 6, play like, I don't know, Violet Teacher Shapeshift, or even just a Vengeful Mercenary, I can be totally in this game. My 4s and 5s are very strong in this deck.
You shall not.
Shield Bearer. Well, that'll stop the dwarf from dying. And the Worgen. Well, if I can get a removal for this, like a Starfire. Well, if I just had a Starfire, I guess I would just kill something else with it. But if I can get a removal for that, that'd be great. Not quite. I need my Innervate to be able to play this in the dwarf and kill that thing. What we can do, however, is the following. I can actually play Stormwind Knight, hit that, and then Shapeshift to kill it. So the board's clear. He can Forked Lightning to clear me out. Fire Elemental. I don't have my Starfire here, so that would be good as well. So there's lots of good cards you could have, but I am currently ahead 6-4, so that's pretty good. Okay, he's looking for a Forked Lightning now. Does he have it? He has it. And he also got this thing. I don't think I buffed a single time when I played with it. Story of my life. Alright. Wolf Rider will not kill that. So there's not much point playing it. I'll just play the Scarlet Crusader and hope he doesn't have any Earth Shocks. If he runs this in, it'll go to 2, heal up to 3, Scarlet Crusader will kill it. Alright, Azure Drake I'm actually pretty happy about, because it does draw him a card, so he gets up a card there, but it doesn't do anything to my board, so that means I'm going to be able to clear his stuff the heck out of here. Starting with Dark Iron Dwarf, Scarlet Crusader, kill the Unbound Elemental, and then Wolf Rider. Oh, I can't Wolf Rider, Dark Iron Dwarf, and Shapeshift. Bummer. Well, if he runs into my Violet Teacher, He doesn't, okay. Oh god, choking on chocolate. So, I can Wolf Rider, Shapeshift, kill the Drake. I can Dark Iron Dwarf, Scarlet Crusader, that, and Shapeshift to kill the Drake. That is the answer. So actually, this thing hits less hard than the Drake. So we'll use the Violet Teacher to kill that. Use this and Shapeshift to kill that. Man, I really wish I could have played the Wolf Rider here, but this is still solid. 17 health is pretty safe. He's got a totem. His last turn was weak, so he doesn't seem to have anything really all that great to do. So I think I've got a pretty decent chance of stealing this first game, even though the start was a little bit rough. Let me sit with slightly better posture. Yeah. It has been suggested that I played the Wolf Rider and Dark Iron. I think that would have been a mistake, because then I wouldn't have been able to clear his board. Except, I mean, I could have still cleared it, but I would have lost the Wolf Rider instead of the Divine Shield. I don't think that would actually have been worth it. Alright, so my Dark Iron Dwarf is frozen, so I cannot easily kill the Frost Elemental. I'd have to use the Violet Teacher and Claw or Wolf Rider Claw. Well, either way, let's draw a card first then. Druid of the Claw. Is that worth playing, even though it means not killing the Frost Elemental efficiently? I don't think it is. So let's go ahead and Claw.
I'm ready to learn.
No, I don't need to Shapeshift. Yeah, we'll do this here. This here. There and there. Oh, so I could have killed the Unmet Elemental the previous turn with Wolf Rider Dark Iron. Oh my god, I don't remember what I did on that turn. If I saw it again, I might have a reason for doing what I did, or maybe it was a mistake. So next turn I can actually play both of these. I just need to remember to play the Druid of the Claw first, otherwise the Ventricle Mercenary will make the Druid of the Claw unplayable. Oh, I Violet Teacher instead of killing the Unbound. I don't know. I mean, maybe that was a little bit of a risky move, but I liked how it turned out. My opponent's gonna cheat a card out of the Stoneclaw Totem. Oh my gippity goopity gippity god. Well, that happens, and then this happens. So yes, you can enjoy your card from the Taunt Totem. I, meanwhile, am going to get a 10-10.
I shall
Man, a shaman did this to me in my last run. Let's see if he has a second hex for this. But he also needs a third hex for this and a fourth hex for this. It's asking for an awful lot of hexes to come back into this game. Lightning Storm? He has Lightning Storm. Well, it's one of the saddest Lightning Storms ever, because the Gnomes Tormentor, the Druid of the Claw, and my Frostwolf Warlord are all going to live. Also tells me he doesn't have a hex, because if he had a hex, he would have hexed this first, so the frog would die. He's going to copy it. Why did he copy it after damaging it? That's boggling. I guess because it gets healed by one? Still, though, it could have been at full health. It's really kind of odd. Alright, Mark of Nature is interesting. So what I could do is I could actually, like, put it on this and... Well, hang on. 10, 14, 16, 20, 21. Can't win. Let's just not do anything fancy, though. Let's kill this thing. Hit him in the face. Play Ventrico. Play Mark of Nature on my Ventrico. And hit him. I mean, if he had a hex, he would have totally used it. So he does not have a hex. Probably. And I have a 7-10 taunt. It's kind of like an improved version of Ancient of War. With a drawback, of course, though. Because my minions are more expensive. But I'm only drawing one card at a time. So my minions being more expensive is not that big of a deal.
For the king!
Stormwind Knight is pretty ineffectual at the moment. It now dies to my Shapeshift.
Feel the power.
It's gonna give it Wind Fury. Alrighty. To kill my Druid of the Claw. Savage Roar, can I win? This is 6, 7, 7 plus 9, 16 damage, not quite. So I'm going to just damage my Ventricle Mercenary. I figure 7 health is still an awful lot of health, and I want an extra creature on the table to help me win, given that I've got the Savage Roar. Now I've got 9 plus 6 is 15, 16 damage next turn with Savage Roar. 0 Drake. That's unfortunate. Gives him a card. That's pretty much the only way he can come back and win this is if he draws a bunch of cards. Please don't be a taunt. It's a taunt. Ah, Jesus. Well, let's see what he's got. Okay. Boulder Fist Ogre would stop me from playing Savage Roar. Is that worth it? It's not. I'm going to play Savage Roar here. Wait a minute. I can play the Boulder Fist Ogre, kill this, hit him for 7. He's down to 11. 6 plus 2. Yeah, this is actually the right play because this allows me to maybe win next turn with Savage Roar. So he can kill it. If he kills this somehow, that's fine, but I've got 6, 8 plus 6 is 14. He'd have to get a taunt or also kill the Gnomish Invention in order to not die. Ogre plus Savage Roar almost kills him. That's 6 plus 3 with Shapeshift. Is 9 damage. And I've got, I think, another Druid of the Claw in this deck, and a Starfire to help me win as well. 13 cards isn't that many. If I top deck Innervate, that would be sad, because... Oh no, I've already used Innervate, I think. If I top deck Knife Juggler, that would be sad, because Knife Juggler could have been Nourish. And so if I top deck it now, and it's not 5 mana, draw 3 cards, that would be pretty heartbreaking.
Drink with me, friend.
Desperate move. My opponent spends 7 mana to get another card.
There is little time. You win this.
Well, after worrying about all the answers my opponent might have, it turns out what he had was absolutely jack diddly squat. Hooray! 1 win. Moving on. This might sound crazy, but I think this deck is good. Yes, I know it has no swipes and no starfalls. But, like, I think it's better than the Shaman deck that I just piloted to 7 wins, for a fact. Or I'm just terrible at evaluating decks, I don't know. I think it's a great deck. So if it doesn't make it to 7, either I'm unlucky or I'm really bad at evaluating decks. Wow, that camera angle is really ugly. Let me see if I can fix this. Dimly tilted. Why is it skewed? My wall is not crooked, I promise. There we go. Nice red background here. Okay. Well, here, I'm really glad the Knife Juggler is not Nourish. Because that means I get to play it on turn 2. Chaz says, you are not allowed to use the Shaman run as a data point. It is the outlieriest outlier of all timer. No, I think Flynn's trying to game the system just by calling every deck terrible. He's like, oh, 1 win with this deck, amazing! Alright, let's play the Knife Juggler and think. Do I want to Innervate a Fairy Dragon? Or do I want to hold out hope that I get a Druid of the Claw and I can Innervate? No, we're just going to do this. If I were up against a Shaman, I wouldn't do this. Because Fork Lightning. If I were up against a Warrior, I wouldn't do this because of Cleave. But against a Druid in particular, it's actually a little bit tricky for him to deal with both of those. So I think it's worth it to get that creature out and essentially, you know, get some board advantage established. Alright, so the Claw will kill my probably... Oh my god! Oh my god. Good game. He had Claw Savagery for 2 mana to kill both of my creatures. And then he gives me a bad-mannered thanks. I mean, maybe he's saying thank you because I said well played. But I could also be interpreted as a thank you for being a dumbass. Well, that Innervate play just lost me this game. Hilarious! Well, the moral of the story is don't innervate 2-drops, no matter how good it looks.
Silver Moon.
Silver Moon Guardian? Well, that'll die. Alright, I need to get some cards. So, let's pop that. Draw a card. And,
Join or
kill that.
die. Shields up.
Give taunt to my Scarlet Crusader. If he wants to shapeshift to kill it, that's half his turn. I'm okay with it. Then we're going to play Ventricle Mercenary, and he'll have to deal with that. I could crawl my way back into this game. I mean, I'm only now behind by like 2 cards. 5 to 3, soon to be 4. Hopefully this will be good for 2 cards, though. Please don't play anything. Oh, you have removal. That's a bummer. Oh boy. Alright, so we're down 2 cards after he draws for the turn, but the Ventricle Mercenary I hope will get us a card back. He'll probably have to spend 2 cards to deal 6 damage this early in the game. Man, if I got Mark of Nature, that would be really great. He might lose to that if because that would let me get a lot more. He's actually going to hit me in the face. Interesting choice. Very interesting indeed. I guess he figured it was dealing 4 damage to this either way, so he might as well just go for it. Wolf Rider is faced, hit him down to 16 damage. Seems a little bit risky. You could just shapeshift, kill the Wolf Rider. Am I going to actually race him? No, let's not be crazy. We're going to kill the Druid, let him have his way with it. Kill the Wolf Rider, and hit him in the face. If he swipes, he'll win. If he doesn't swipe, though, I might have a chance. Claw Savagery. Oh my god. I like, how often do you have that combo? And how often are you going to get to use it against someone who has a pair of 2/2s on turn 2? I mean, a Warlock is with the Flame Whip is like the only possibility. Ridiculous! And a Cobra. Alright, so I'm going to have to kill that Cobra, unfortunately. Devote much of my energies to that enterprise. So we're going to Claw, Shapeshift, hit. Seems you're having trouble finding a way to deal 2 damage. No Storm Suck Commandos in this guy's arsenal. If that actually gets to hit him again, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Truth be told. Ventricle Mercenary, MVP for now. It's the only thing giving me, like, I'm not even saying I'm winning this game, it's just the only thing giving me, like, a chance of maybe winning this game. Okay, so Violet Teacher will be the last thing that this thing kills. Innervate for a 5-drop and a student. And it's another Druid of the Claw. It's Charger again. I don't know if that's the right move. Don't know if that's the right move. Seven plus 2 is 9. He's down to 7 health. Alright, we're going for it.
For the king.
We're going for it.
For honor.
I've got some Druids of the Claw that can charge. And I've got a Mark of Nature, which if I got with Druid of the Claw, that would deal like 8 surprise damage. And of course he still has to kill my creatures that I have right now. Lord of the Arena, that is admittedly a problem. That is going to be very difficult for me to get past. Well, yeah, that's just a problem. I don't have any silence because I decided to take this instead of a Spellbreaker, which I sorely regret now, and I can't kill this unless I top deck my Starfire. Starfire or bust is the moral of this story. With Power of the Wild, I can deal 4 damage to this, but not 5. Can I get some help? Oh my god, I actually can get a Starfire. Wait, can I kill him? If he didn't have a taunt, I could Starfire his face and kill him, but because of the taunt, he lives to fight another day. Bummer, man. Savage Roar is interesting. That would be 4 damage, so 2 plus 4 is 6. He'd be down to 2. Let me think. What is the right move? I think the right move is this. I'm going to Shapeshift, kill the student, and hit him in the face. So my thinking here is if he doesn't have removal, which he seems not to have, because that Ventricle Mercenary lived for a long time. I've got this in play, and if this thing lives, Well, if he shapeshifts into it, he takes a damage, he's down to 5. And Savage Roar shapeshifts take him down to 2, so I'm just a hair's breadth away from winning. All I need is 1 Druid of the Claw. That's not going to change anything unless he plays a Defender of Argus. Please don't play Defender of Argus. He plays a Bear. No! More taunt! Ah, balls. Is he going to keep hitting my face, though? I think he really should kill the Stormwind Knight. Oh my gosh, he leaves me with a Stormwind Knight. That might cost him the game. That's a very ballsy move, leaving me with that Stormwind Knight. So, here we go. We play Bluegill Warrior. Play Power of the Wild. Give him -1. Play Savage Roar. Shapeshift. I use my face to kill the bear and then kill him. I mean, he would have been at 1 health if he had killed this guy with Shapeshift. No, he would have actually died as well. Never mind. That was fine. That was fine. That was well played. And we actually win the second game. Flynn has a comment to make about this. That comment is just a capital letter, how. Alright, Flynn says you're winning with no swipe. I don't know if Flynn is continuing to try to game the system by talking about how bad the deck is in the hopes that me talking about, or us talking about how bad the deck is will make me win. Because whenever I say the deck is bad, it always does well. Or often does well. Or if Flynn is actually surprised that I'm winning with no swipe, well, you know, it's a good deck. Doesn't have swipe, but I really think it's a good deck. Baron of Fate says, that was beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful I can't type right. Now, Chaz makes a good point. This is, I think, very salient. These opponents just refuse to play well. I think that the charging Druid of the Claws, the not hitting my minions ever was a mistake. A strategic mistake. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's okay to... It's the right decision to try to race an opponent who played a Ventrico Mercenary. But all he had to do was spend 2 cards to kill that Ventrico Mercenary. 1 Druid of the Claw and then another one. And he was up so many cards that spending a card, going down a card to kill Ventrico Mercenary, he would have been ahead and he probably wouldn't have lost the game. So yeah, he just played badly there. Now hope that I can kill this with Shapeshift. That hope is a distant one. We'll keep the Power of the Wild. It goes well with Violet Teachers and endgame Burnouts. I'm not, however, going to throw that Knife Juggler away just yet. We're going to hold out hope that maybe he's got nothing to play this turn, and this Knife Juggler will rise to greatness at a later time.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, so the Ooze now kills my Fairy Dragon. Oh my goodness! Cheeky bastard. Ah, that was cheeky. So, I could innervate an Ogre on turn 4. The problem there is if it gets humiliated. Yeah, let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. We're gonna do this. And kill the Recruit. So this Recruit would be alive if he had just killed my Fairy Dragon, but because he didn't, the Recruit dies. Now I've got these 2 creatures to deal with whatever, with this Ooze and whatever else he might play on turn 3. And if he doesn't play a really good drop, like a coined good 4-drop, no, he coined this out on turn 1, didn't he? Yeah, he coined this out on turn 1. That's how he had a Recruit last turn. He coined this out, so he has no coin. So next turn I can innervate an Ogre. And even if he peacekeeps it, it's still a 1/7. Right, what is he putting that on? That? So this is a 1-mana cycle. Which you should have done before making a Recruit. What if he gets a 2-drop out of it? Man, this guy's not playing well at all. Alright, so we innervate. Ogre. Gotta kill that. Don't let Paladins keep creatures. And now let's see if he has an Outdoor Peacekeeper, making this a dedicated minion sweeper, or if he doesn't, in which case he's even more screwed. Let's see how it goes. He's got 7 cards to my 5. I went down a card because I innervated this Ogre out, so this Ogre needs to be good for at least 2 cards. True Silver Champion will get him up another card, but it will not get rid of that Ogre, so he seems not to have an Outdoor Peacekeeper here, which is great news for Papa Bippity Boris. Druid of the Claw, please. Wrath. Oh, man. Well, bummer. So let's do this. Let's do this for a Panther. Hit him in the face. So presumably he will True Silver this Knife Juggler. I felt like it was better to do this than do nothing, but I think it was a little bit unlucky that I didn't get anything to play. My deck is chocked full to the brim with 5 and 4 drops. So getting none of them is a little bit sad. Mustard Mint says, I'm going to have to start playing on the American server. My terrible plays won't look so out of place. Yeah, I have had some pretty weak opponents today. I will not lie. My opponent, Hammer of Wrath and True Silver, to kill the Ogre, which is, you know, fine and all, but that was his whole turn. So now he's got 7 cards to my 5. Should I Starfire his face for some card draw? No. Let's play the Bluegill Warrior. If he has a Consecration, then so be it. Can't play around everything. And I'm in a little bit of an awkward spot because I didn't get any of my minions. Now the good news is that paladins don't have any built-in life gain. So as a matter of fact, he doesn't play his 6 health, or gain 6 life dude, the Justice. Starfire plus Shapeshift will kill him in 2 turns. Okay, this will let him... This is an awkward card for him because it doesn't actually heal him if he hits my minions, but if he hits my face, my minions are alive, so it doesn't do any good anyway. So he's gonna have to kill my Knife Juggler here probably. And okay, I don't even need the Starfire. He's just dead to this.
Well played.
And he says, "Well played." We'll Starfire his face. Save a couple of clicks. Well played. And we actually managed to aggro someone out with an innovative Boulder Fist Ogre. Good times. Good times. Chaz points out there's Lay on Hands. Yes. However, Lay on Hands is 8 mana, and I would have killed him before he got to turn 8 with Shapeshift. I would have Shapeshifted first to set up the Starfire for the next turn. Now, he could have also played a cheaper healer as well, like an Earthring Farseer or something, or a Priestess, but I don't see those very often. Chaz says, BM Boris using cards instead of attacks. Hey, congratulations, you corrupted me. You all corrupted me away from my impeccable manners into thinking that, well, maybe playing an extra card here and there is alright. Up against a Hunter, a good matchup, which surely means I'm going to lose this game. I do generally like being a Druid against Hunters. We got a 2-drop, we're second. We get a Mark of Nature, which I will not keep. Even though it's a good combo with the Mercenary, it's a bit risky to keep that. Yes, says Mustard Mitt, appalling bad manners there. I'm like a World of Warcraft. I'm like a Blizzard game universe villain. I was someone who was good, and I got corrupted by something bad. Now you might say, how, Boris, why are you doing this? If you didn't use the coin there, you could have played the Blue-Goo Warrior or whatever next turn, and then coined a 4-drop on turn 3. And the answer is, I'm hoping I get something better to do on turn 3 than to Shapeshift. And this gives me a nice tempo edge. I play this, he plays something, and then I Blue-Goo Warrior to kill his thing. And then I've got this Panther out here. I judged that that was worth the risk of having nothing to do on turn 3 besides Shapeshift. Well, I have 1 top deck to justify my decision. Actually, my decision I think is fine regardless of what the top deck is, but I have 1 top deck to make things go well. He has a very slow start. He has nothing on turn 3 except a Steady Shot, and I will return. Fortunately, man, if I had a 3-drop to play here like a Scarlet Crusader, I would almost already be putting the game out of his reach, but because I passed the buck when he passed the buck, he's actually in this game. I have a little bit of an advantage, but he is totally in the game. Stormwind Knight is really unfortunate because it kills my Panther before I can buff it with the Dark Iron Dwarf. Quite annoying. Luckily, I can now counter Stormwind Knight him and kill his Stormwind Knight with my Stormwind Knight. And then next turn we're dropping Druid of the Claw, which is impossible to kill. Almost impossible to kill if you don't have Hunter's Mark or Deadly Shot, but if this thing is alive, Deadly Shot won't be an option. And indeed, it is not an option. He has something better to do than Steady Shot. So I could Dark Iron Dwarf to kill this thing right now. I'll take a little chance, though. We're going to play the Druid of the Claw. This is just so freaking strong. I'm not that scared. Again, Hunters just don't do very well with this one. Deadly Shot is not a guarantee. Alright, Savannah Highmane is good. I don't have any good answers to that as a Druid. I'm going to have to deal with that the old-fashioned way. So here, what we could do is Violet Teacher, Innervate, and then get another 4-drop, or just get an Ogre. Or I could Dark Iron Dwarf this, kill the Highmane, and allow the Hyenas to pop. Let's think here. Should I try to race? What is this, 4-6? If I go for this Violet Teacher, Innervate, Sen'jin thing, Unleash the Hounds would be a terror. Alright, let's keep it simple, keep it safe. We're gonna do this. Kill the Highmane. I can kill one of the Hyenas right now. I Innervate. I play Sen'jin. Keeping my weak creature in the middle around Explosive Shot. And the Acolyte can only get 1 card and the Hyena should die, so I'm doing my best to deal with it. But this gives him the lead on cards. He now has 8 to my 6. He's gonna flip a Deadly Shot. Gets my second best creature. He was probably hoping to hit my Taunter. Animal Companion could be really good. He gets the Pig, which is okay, because he gets to draw the card, throw the Pig, and then trade Stormwind Knight for the Hyena. And now he's down to... Oh, cheeky. Doesn't kill my thing. Am I going to let him get away with that? Yeah. I am. So do I dare race him? No. I think he's already used a Deadly Shot, so I'm going to hit that. Pass the turn. So he's got 6 cards to my 4. This is actually a really good game. It's very tense. Next turn, I'm hoping to do these 4 drops, so hopefully what he does not require weird maneuvers like with the Druid of the Claw and Shapeshift or anything like that. Oh man, what has he got for me? Boulderfist Ogre, what are you looking at, motherfucker? Do I have any buffs in this deck? I don't think I do. So I'm gonna have to shapeshift into that if I want it to die. Druid of the Claw, ladies and gentlemen. Not exactly what I wanted. Alright, we're gonna do this. Wait, what could I possibly draw that would... I don't have any buffs in this deck. I have Power of the Wild. We're gonna draw a card, see what we get. Fairy Dragon. So I could shapeshift into this to kill it. Or we could just try to race. Alright, I'm going to try to race. So my thinking with why I'm racing is, even though it's dangerous to race against a hunter, I'm a druid so I can heal up some of the life gain. And he's a little bit of trouble as well. And on turn 10, I can do double Druid of the Claw for 10 surprise damage. Sorry, 8 surprise damage. So if I can get a little bit more damage through and he doesn't play taunts, then I might be able to kill him that way. I deal damage a little bit with Shapeshift and cancel a little bit of his damage. He does not cancel any of my damage, which is nice. Cobra threatens to kill the Ogre. What I'm more concerned about is, does he have a kill command, which he does. Now what I'm more concerned about is, does he have a buff so let this Ogre kill my Ogre? This would be a godlike turn for him if he had all of these things. He's a secret. No, that's bad. So he doesn't attack. What the? He didn't attack with his Ogre. He didn't attack with the Ogre at all. He could have killed Gnomish Inventor. Wow. Alright, well, let's check for Freezing Trap with the Gnomish Inventor. It's not Freezing Trap. Let's hit him in the face. Oh my god, wait! Could I have won the game? Jesus. Hang on. Power of the Wild, so I can deal 6, 7... Alright. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 1... So 10 plus 2 is 12. Okay, so I actually waited a little bit too long on the... Oh, wait! Crap, that might be a snipe. If it's a snipe, it'll kill the Druid of the Claw. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna play Druid of the Claw then. The first one for the health and taunt, because I think it is a snipe. Oh my god, it's actually a snake trap. Are you goddamn kidding me? Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And he's not gonna kill me here, so we'll just do this. Okay, so I'm threatening the win with Druid of the Claw, Power of the Wild, Shapeshift. That's 6 damage all by itself. So even if he clears my board, if he doesn't play Taunt or Life Gain, he loses. Now he's obviously going to play Buzzard Hounds here, but I've got this convenient Druid of the Claw here. Whoa, he just played Buzzard. He didn't have the Hounds. Oh, well, that's nothing then. Swampoos, okay. Cool. So he kills that, kills that. No Taunt, no Life Gain, no card draw. We lock out, guys. It'd be a little bit bad-mannered for me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we do this, we do this, and that is a wrap. So that was a snake trap. Wow. That was quite fortunate. He just played super great stuff, and then all of a sudden ran out of steam. Didn't have any disruption for my stuff, and we won. So 4-0. And I thought this deck was good all along. This wasn't one of those... Papa Boris says the deck sucks and does well. I think this deck is solid. I think it's better than that Shaman deck, even though, as Chaz pointed out, I really can't use the Shaman deck for comparison. If I were to suddenly lose 3 games before I got to 5 or 6, I'd be pretty upset. Even without swipes. Okay, so who's our next opponent? It's a Paladin. Great. I like being a Druid against Paladins. You got some life gain, but you can also kill his recruits, which is good stuff. I'm not going to keep Ascension, even though I have turn 2 and turn 3 plays, and Ascension is a great 4-drop. Wait a minute. Why won't I keep Ascension? Yeah, I'm just going to keep Ascension. I've got turn 2 play and I've got removal. Why wouldn't I just keep Ascension so I've got an amazing 4-drop on turn 4? Especially if I manage to top deck Innervate, I could play this on turn 2. Which is stupendous. Alright, let's play Fairy Dragon. Let's marvel at the fact that there's a Gadgetzan Auctioneer in this deck. Haven't seen that in 4 games. See if it gives me anything to do besides play Power of the Wild, which I totally would do. Yeah, I'm going to do the Power of the Wild. It's worth it. Unless I get a 3-drop. Oh my gosh, I got Innervate. Okay, so if I had Innervate last turn, I would have done it. But here, I think it behooves me to save the Innervate for the Auctioneer. Now, I could do Auctioneer, Innervate, Power of the Wild, or Auctioneer, Innervate, Wrath. So if I play the Power of the Wild now, I'm going to do it. I think it's worth it here to get the creature onto the board, to get that board presence. Even though it might mean that I don't get an extra card off the Auctioneer when I Innervate on turn 5. It would have been interesting to Innervate the Auctioneer, but the problem is Paladin still has the coin, so he could have easily played True Silver Champion and just killed it. Is he going to Consecrate here? He's going to Hammer of Wrath, which is actually of True Silver Champion Consecration or Hammer of Wrath was the one I most want to see, because it does take him up a card. I'm not, however, that concerned about cards, and the Hammer of Wrath keeps the Fairy Dragon on the board. It also does not keep a weapon in his hand to kill the Fairy Dragon with, basically. So now, if this Fairy Dragon survives the turn, which against the Paladin it has a higher than average chance of so doing, I can play the Auctioneer, Innervate Wrath, get 2 cards, put a 4/4 on the ground, and clear whatever his board is. So this is going to be pretty sweet. Unless something really crazy happens. He plays True Silver Champion. Unless that was just top decked, he made a mistake. He should have played that last turn. So he could have killed the Fairy Dragon this turn without having to spend any mana. Ooh, that is a stroke if he actually really just did that. Now, the problem is Auctioneer Innervate's not super great at the moment, because what am I going to Innervate for? Fairy Dragon? It seems dumb. And the Auctioneer just dies. So we're just going to play the Ascension here, which survives against True Silver. And it gives me a little bit more flexibility next turn. When I Innervate, I can do something up to 3 mana. Still would like to Wrath, but if I don't Wrath, that's fine. I'll do something else. Now, I could have gotten 2 1/1s if I had Wrath my own creature or something, but it didn't seem worth it. He decides to silence my taunt, which is very bizarre because he can't kill the Violet Teacher anyway, so what was the point of doing that? Alright, now I have a target for my Wrath. Perfect. Alright. Here it goes, I believe. Oh, Boulder Fist Ogre, so tempting. But no. We're going to do this. It's got to happen, right? So you do this. You Innervate. Get a 1/1. Get a card. Argent Squire. I didn't even know I had that in this deck. Okay, we... Oh, Rage Quit. You don't see those often in Hearthstone. Don't see those often. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his hand was. I don't know how awful it was. I probably had the pretty big advantage there with all my 1/1s. He must not have had Consecration, because if he had Consecration, he just would have used it to kill everything out. But I could have Wrathed away his Owl. I could have used my Senjin to kill his Shattered Sun Cleric. Or I would have probably used the Violet Teacher to be safe, so as not to fall completely prey to Consecration. Cool. So that was exciting, and we have a pretty nice opening hand. I think I'll just keep the whole shebang. Yep, whole kit and caboodle. We coin the Knife Juggler out on turn 1. Play the Power of the Wild on turn 2, fling a knife, and we got removal here to back ourselves up on turn 3. Seems good. No Mana Worm on turn 1. Hooray! Hooray! Let's see if she has a Frostbolt, or a Bluegill Warrior, or Arcane Missiles for this Knife Juggler. There are lots of smiling, laughing bears in my chat, as Baron of Fate is extremely excited that the dream was real. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Well, the perennial dilemma, do you Wrath that or do you Claw it? Wrath costs more mana, and I'm wasting mana if I Claw, but the Wrath can be used later to draw cards or deal more damage. I will Claw it. No, wait, that's silly. I'm going to Wrath it. I'm going to Wrath it. That's the right move. But rather, because next turn I can play the Panther and Claw, and I think that's worth it to have the option to do that. In case she has a slow start and plays another 2 toughness minion. Flynn Terrence says, best deck you've ever drafted, now watch it lose 3 times. I know, that's what it's going to be. Alright, so I can actually use Power of the Wild as a buff to get the Knife Juggler to survive. That seems very silly, though. Why don't instead we just throw the Knife Juggler at this? Shapeshift. Kill it. And let the opponent take the lead here. I guess it's kind of unfortunate, but otherwise my Knife Juggler was going to die regardless. That is the last thing in the universe that I wanted to see right now. I have no answers to it in my deck, not even Starfire. So we're going to do an extremely lame play. We're going to make 2 Panthers. My 4 drops and 5 drops are nowhere to be found. I just have to hope I can live long enough to Starfire this thing on turn 6. She says, whoops. I don't know what she has that would make her say whoops, or if she made a mistake or something. We'll find out.
I wonder.
What is she going to do? She's going to draw a card. It's a really good card here, this Inventor. It'll kill my Panthers. If any of them are even alive after I'm done with this Elemental. Probably not. Oh my god! Druid of the Claw, thank you. So I go down a card. But, accepting Polymorph or Fireball, I might go up a card with that Druid of the Claw. We'll see. See if she's got the goods. It'll be her whole turn killing that thing either way. And then I play the Boulder Fist Ogre, and then I'm out of juice. We'll see. I would say at the moment, 5-0 with this swipeless Druid. I am behind against this Mage. Smooby the Mage. Now, if this had been an Ironbark Protector, I would have been in much worse shape. That is why I chose this over the Ironbark Protector. Alright, she seems not to have a Fireball or whatever. I could use Claw or Savage Roar to kill this thing. I think, though, since she just seemingly demonstrated not having a Fireball,
Whoops.
I will just go ahead and play my Ogre down. So that should be pretty safe. She can use the Divine Shield and ping to kill it. I didn't want to hit the 3-2 because then she could have just used the Divine Shield to kill it without having to ping. And I wanted to have to use her mana to kill it. Next, I can Starfire and Claw if this guy is still alive.
I wonder.
She can clear my board if she has a Flame Strike, actually. She has Cult Master, which is distressing. She'll get at least 1 card out of that, it seems. She's probably going to run this in and ping. Thankfully, unless she has a Taunt for a mana, like a Goldshire Footman or Mirror Image, I can claw this Cult Master and be pretty happy about it. Yeah, she's going to throw that away for a card. Fair deal. Please do not play a Mirror Image. That would force me to Starfire the Cult Master, which I don't want to do. Okay, great. Druid of the Claw. Well, I guess it's better than Starfire. So we're going to do this to protect my damaged Ogre. We're going to Claw. Let's kill this Cult Master. And do I kill this thing? I'm going to hit her in the face. I think it's important to get some damage going here. And of course, if she Flame Strikes and clears my team, then so be it. But I am willing to play into that. I need to get some damage through because I am behind on cards. And when you're behind on cards, you've got to go for a little bit of burn. Now, Starfire's 5 damage, and this could be, well, depending on how many creatures I have, it's, you know, if I have 2 creatures on the table, it's 6 extra damage. So let's say I have 2 creatures on the table. Optimistically, this is 11 damage I can deal. So she is dead in a couple of turns if these 2 creatures are not wiped off the board this turn. Arcane Golem will allow her to get the kill on at least one of my creatures. Crazed Alchemist, very well played, allows her to actually get the kill on both of my creatures, which is very frustrating. So I needed one of... Oh, what is she doing? Oh, well, she kills... It doesn't matter how she does it. Either way it works. So now she has a Crazed Alchemist from a top deck war. She's at 21 health, far from death. I am in trouble. Crap, I'm not going to Starfire this thing. I could Savage Roar. You know what? I'm going to Savage Roar to kill this. It's a little bit depressing, but it's worth it to do that because I need to get some board presence built up in order to have any chance at winning this game. The fact that she got to kill a 6-4 and a 4-6 in one turn was unfortunate. I needed her not to be able to clear my board, but now she's 2 cards ahead, 1 card after I draw. I'm a little bit ahead on the board, and I can get a card back with Starfire, but that's all I've got going for me.
For the king.
Stormwind Knight, again, a target that's not really useful for Starfire. And a Scarlet Crusader, which again is a target that's not useful. Man, she just does not want to give me something I can use a Starfire against. So we're going to play an extremely mediocre Frostwolf Warlord. Shapeshift. And I'm going to hit her in the face. My stuff's dead regardless, so I might as well just leave her stuff alone. I'll try to get as much damage as I can. So this 5/5, I'm pinning all my hopes and dreams on this. I gotta get it to hit her at least once. She has 4 cards. If she would just play like a nice Chillwind Yeti or something, I could Starfire it. That would be great. As it is, it was better for me to put creatures out into Starfire, something tiny. She seems not to have any better answer than to throw 2 creatures at it, which is great news for me. She has a Raging Morgan, which I can Starfire. Monty Berserker, which I can also Starfire. An Arcane Intellect to go up a card, but she did it after spending her entire turn, so she's up a card, which is certainly good for her, but she should have done that first. Lucky her, she gets a Frostbolt, so she's like got 4 cards to 2 basically. And I've got a Twilight Drake. Ugh. Well, we'll kill the more dangerous creature. Fairy Dragon. Alright. We'll play that later. We'll play the Twilight Drake. Which actually just dies to the Monty Berserker. I am very far behind.
The gates are open.
Lord of the Arena drops. Frostbolt number 2. And I have no card draw in this deck apart from Gnomish Inventor. I think I should actually concede here. Mark Nature on a Fairy Dragon. Alright. We're going to say well played. That Crazed Alchemist won her the game. If she hadn't had Crazed Alchemist, she wouldn't have been able to clear my board. If she hadn't cleared my board, I could have gotten through like 16 damage and then killed her with Starfire. So that was extremely close. Now granted, she never played a Fireball, Polymorph, or Flame Strikes. It was like the Special Olympics or something. Me with no swipes and her with no spells of any kind. She just beat me with minions, basically, and some Frostbolts. So, well done by that mage. That was a well-deserved win for her. Alright, we're up against a Priest, which is fine. I don't mind being a Druid against Priests. This deck seems to end up wanting to try to burn out its opponents a lot, which is not great. Especially when you have no swipe. But, so then that doesn't work very well against Priests. But in general, both of our hero abilities impact the board. I guess the Priest is a little bit better faring against the Druids, but it's a decent matchup, I think. Alright, so Flynn earlier said, best deck you've ever drafted, now watch it lose 3 times. Well, it hasn't lost 3 times yet, it's only lost once. We don't know how many times it's going to lose. Have faith, you of little faith. So, Papa Boris, why didn't you play the Power of the Wild 3/2 and threaten to kill the North Strike Cleric that way? Well, in case he's running Shattered Sun Cleric and coins it out, or Power Word Shield, or Shadow Word Pain, this Panther wouldn't have worked out well. I just wanted to get that North Strike Cleric off the table while I could. Acolyte of Pain, good card for him. I'm gonna have to play my Panther now and just hope that that will kill the Acolyte, otherwise he's gonna get ahead. Holy Smite, Shadow Word Pain, both good here. So is a Shattered Sun Cleric. Shattered Sun Cleric would be phenomenal. Buff this to a 2/4, hit this, draw card, win the game. Flesh Eating Ghoul, though, that's okay, because I can still kill the Acolyte and live to tell about it and threaten to kill the Ghoul afterwards. So I'm okay with that for the most part. Yeah, we'll just do the Violet Teacher.
Pay attention, class.
And I could kill the Ghoul, and that would be a little bit too cautious. I will risk, you know, this Ghoul, whatever, getting killed on the Violet Teacher. It's unlikely. If he kills this, the Ghoul is still only a 4/3. I'm okay with that. We have a Vengeful Mercenary next turn, which is a little bit scary, because Shadow Word Death is a very good answer to it. And he's actually going to ignore me. What is it with people today and not playing properly? So what we do here is the following. We first kill the Flesh-Eating Ghoul like so. Then we kill that. Then we play the Vengeful Mercenary. And then, okay, if he has a Shadow Word Death, that'll be pretty much his whole turn doing that. If he doesn't have Shadow Word Death, well, then he's boned. And we've got Starfire coming up to kill whatever he might play. He's going to Holy Smite my Teacher. Does he have a Shadow Word Death to then kill this thing? He does not. He has a Silver Moon Guardian. Alright. Fair is fair. So, this Silver Moon Guardian will technically actually kill my Ventricle Mercenary. Unless I Shapeshift. And ping it. Now, there's a price to that. The price is that I did not play my Sunfree Protector. But I figured that was worth it. To get that thing to die right now. And then basically be like, what's up, opponent? How are you going to deal with this thing? The answer apparently is I'm playing another Divine Shield creature. And a River Crocodile. Well, the Crocodile will just die to my Mercenary, so I'm okay with that. Alright, Boulder Fist Ogre. I could actually suicide my Mercenary, though that's dumb. Right, we will do the following. I will kill this thing. Shapeshift. King. Now 5 mana is just enough to play this little guy. So my guy now has Taunt, and sure, the Scarlet Crusader can kill it, but look, I killed the Silvermoon Guardian, Crocolisk, and Scarlet Crusader with the Vengeful Mercenary, and I'm way ahead on cards, and I can drop an Ogre, and I know he doesn't have a Shadow Word Death, or he would have used it. Alright, so he's going to actually burn the Unbeliever here, which I'm okay with, because finally I actually have a good target for Starfire, and this time he does kill my creature. Alright, fair enough. Do I actually want to kill this, or do I want to play like the Boulder Fist Ogre? Let's Starfire. I think this is fine. I'm so far ahead, I just can't imagine not being able to come up, especially if I get a 2-drop. One of my innumerable 2-drops. So next turn, with 9 mana, unfortunately I cannot play both of these, but I can like play Ogre and Savage Roar, for example. Is he gonna trade for the Fairy Dragon? He should. He doesn't. He hits me in the face. I don't know if that's right. Alright, so let's think very carefully here. And let's see. If I hit this Wolf Rider, what risk am I running? Not much of one. Yeah, so we'll just keep it simple. We'll play the Boulder Fist Ogre. Savage Roar. Use my face to kill the Wolf Rider. Use the Fairy Dragon to kill the Yeti. Now, we're getting into mind control territory. That's the main thing I can think of that would help him come back in this game. Otherwise, I'm going to play a Druid, a 6/6. He doesn't have a mind control. He's going to be in trouble.
Is someone injured?
Northstrike Cleric is exactly what he does not want right now. Temple Enforcer, still what he doesn't want right now, because that just dies. And he's going to heal his face. I'm going to heal my Ogre. Oh, I'll say thanks.
My time.
I hope he understands it's the thank you for the healing, not thank you. Like, it's not like a bad manner thank you. Now, if I kill the Temple Enforcer, this Northstrike Cleric can run into Druid of the Claw, heal, and draw a card. Is that worth avoiding by killing it? Then the Temple Enforcer can kill my Druid of the Claw. Yeah, we'll let him have a card. Fine. We'll do this. This. Get that out here. He doesn't really have any good mind control targets either, because if he steals this, it's almost dead. If he steals this, I can kill it. He can mind control, it's like a 2-for-1, but it doesn't actually get him ahead. It's a Fairy Dragon. I would have actually run the Northstrike Cleric and healed first, just in case he got something expensive. He plays Stampeding Kodo, which kills nothing. I guess he's just desperate. Circle of... What? Okay, so he's actually going to get 3 cards here for 0 mana. But I do appreciate the heals. He should have done that first to draw the cards before playing a Stampeding Kodo for nothing. That's very sloppy play by the opponent, actually. Alright, well, now we're going to kill his stuff. So let's play Northstrike Cleric first. Always draw cards first. Twilight Drake. Okay, we're going to play the Twilight Drake next. Boogle Warrior. So the Boogle Warrior will kill the Fairy Dragon. Ogre will kill the Northstrike Cleric. Yeah, given that he had a Circle of Healing, he should have definitely played that first. Because the 5 mana for the Kodo was wasted. He probably got like a better 5 or a 6 drop up here that he could have played had he just drawn cards first. Shadow Word Pain only has 1 target. Hilarious that he hasn't ever been able to get any Shadow Word Death this game. Or maybe not hilarious so much as tragic. Maybe he just didn't see any in the draft. It's happened to me as well. Now let's check to see if I can win the game. I have a lot of power here. This is 6, 10, 16, 20, 24, 26, 27. Alright, did I miscount my math again? 10, 20, 24, 26, 27. I can get him down to 1 health. Well, let's do this then. So at least I'm drawing cards out of the deal. Get another card here. Mark of Nature, that would have been the kill if I had actually the mana for it. Okay, he's at 1 health and he's got these minions to deal with. I don't actually know what a priest can do. If he plays Deathwing, it'd be his whole turn, then I could shapeshift and kill him. Otherwise, he just loses. Okay. Chaz asked earlier, who are these awful players that I've never seen in the arena? Hey, they're there, man. They're there. I promise you that. You just gotta play long enough and you'll find them. So we get our 6th win. And we now have actually, amazingly, 2 chances to get to 7 with this deck, though. It has no swipes. So good times had by me. Older Fist Ogre being a really good player here. Auctioneer's been money. Even the Frostwolf Warlord's been alright. Let's try our first of 2 chances. And I should mention, this will be the last arena of the day, because we have been going for 4.5 hours here, so I will need to take a break to eat food, sustain myself, hygiene, etc., etc., etc. Another Druid Mirror matchup. We won the first time we played against a Druid, but that Druid played very poorly. He probably had a winning, position, but he bungled it. Let's see if this Druid does the same. Flynn says, Priest sounds weird when he dies. Hooah! Of course, the best death rattle is clearly the Scarlet Crusader. It's so great when she dies. Alright, is he going to play something on turn 1? My greetings. He's going to play a greeting. Alright, no reason to coin out this Fairy Dragon. I can just Fairy Dragon coin Claw if I need to use removal next turn. He's got a Novice Engineer. Well, that's annoying. So now I can Shapeshift to kill it, or I can play the Fairy Dragon. I'm going to play the Fairy Dragon. So here's the thing. If he uses his Novice Engineer and Shapeshift to kill it, he's going to go up a card. But he's going to fall back on tempo, because then I'm going to play the Scarlet Crusader and maybe inhibit some of his plays a bit. So if he spends his whole turn doing that, I'm okay with it. Now if he plays a 2-drop and claws this, he's not up a card, but I would actually less like to see that.
We must cleanse the sun.
Tarzan Cleric will allow the Novice Engineer to kill my Fairy Dragon, going up a card, rather tragically. Got a couple of different options here. I could either Wolf Rider and into it, or just Scarlet Crusader Coin Claw. I think Scarlet Crusader Coin Claw is the better play. The reason I'm not making it is that I drew my Twilight Drake here. Druids have a devil of a time dealing with a big Twilight Drake on turn 4 if they don't have a Silence. So I'm actually going to play this, and it's going to be huge. And it's going to be difficult for him to deal with. It's going to be like a 4-7, I think. Yeah, 4-7. So his main out right now is a Silence, otherwise he will fall pretty far behind, thanks to a 4-7 dropping down on his face. And I've got MVP Ventricle Mercenary here to follow it up, which again is a very difficult card for Druids to deal with if they don't happen to be holding a big game Hunter, which is unlikely. Mustard Mitt says, Hygiene, not the kind of thing a true gamer thinks about. I've always been a fan of Hygiene. Hygiene's the best. Wow, he actually has his own Ventricle Mercenary. So, well played. Can we deal with this? No, we cannot, because we're a Druid, and Druids have a hard time dealing with those. We're going to play our own Ventricle Mercenary. Hit the bear. And then his Ventricle Mercenary will kill the Twilight Drake. Unfortunate. Now what I could do is I could actually claw this thing to death afterwards. Yeah, that sounds like the plan. I could claw it to death. And then keep my Ventricle Mercenary alive. Baron of Fate says, alright Boris, I've done absolutely nothing all day, period, so I have to go and be a human being, get food, stuff like that. Yes, Baron, please. Please, please, please. Take care of yourself. It'll all go on YouTube. So he does kill that. The question is, am I going to get to kill this Shield Bearer and claw the Ventrico? Or Wrath it, for that matter. Healing Touch is actually going to heal this back up to full. Well, that's okay. So now, of course, yes, I will lose my Ventrico killing his, but he invested 2 cards into it, so I'm still ahead on that, on those grounds. Alright, now the main problem, of course, is that I can't actually do this very easily because he's got this Shield Bearer. Luckily, Wrath is a pretty good card. So we Wrath, we Shapeshift, we kill, we coin. So, the smoke is all cleared. It's got 5 cards to my 5. And I've got not that great of a hand here, actually. So, yeah, I'm behind it. I mean, I could still win this, of course, but I am, at the moment, behind. Especially if he drops some really big trees. I've done no damage to him. He'd win. Doing the standard Druid with lots of big things strategy. Flynn says, bye, motherfucker. Alluding to earlier jokes, earlier good times had. Infiltrator, it doesn't really bother me very much at all. Don't care about that guy. Does he have a good 4-drop here? He needs one. He doesn't have anything. Oh, he's got a handful of removal, it would seem. Alright, that's fine. So we're going to do this. To protect the Scarlet Crusader from automatic death to shapeshift, I can only play one of my cards anyway, so I might as well play the best, most expensive one. Hit him in the face, see what he's got. Does he have an Iron Bark? If so, yeah, that'd be pretty good for him. I'd have to do this, this, and shapeshift. I'd have to throw both things and shapeshift to kill it, or like use 2 of these cards and kill it. It would suck. No Iron Barks, please. If you would be so kind.
What to do?
I have 8 mana, which means I cannot play a creature and Frostwolf Warlord, so I really would either like to draw another cheap creature, 3 mana or less, than Frostwolf Warlord, or just not play the Warlord at all. Alright, so he's going to reveal... Is he going to innervate to finish this off? Nope, he's just going to let that thing kill me. Man, if I had taken Spellbreaker, that would have been good. So that was a little bit of a misdraft, I think. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the Knife Juggler and get the Frostwolf Warlord out. That's a 7/7, while that's hot. Fling goes there. Okay, that's actually good. So what we can do now is this. Claw. Kill that. And kill this. So I did not use my resources in the most efficient way possible, but it's 4 cards to 4. I'm about to draw my 5th. I'm ahead on life, and I have a 7/7. So big game hunter or bust. Well, they could like Starfire and Wrath, I guess would be another way to kill it without going down a card. Is your Drake fishing for some good stuff? Does he find it? He's hovering over the card he drew, and he does find it. He has an Elven Archer. Who plays Elven Archer? Oh, the top-decked Elven Archer is the worst Elven Archer. Oh, God. Feels gross. Alright, so do I play Boulder-Beast Ogre and Shapeshift to kill the Archer, or do I play my pair of 4-drops? I think I'm going to play the pair of 4-drops. I don't know that's the correct play necessarily, but it gives me the most flexibility because I'm spending 8 mana's worth of cards instead of spending 6, so I spent more of my mana, and that might give me future options in future turns. On a blue dog, 1 shot, 1 kill, motherfucker. Motherfucker was said so many times today, and yet I think it is totally appropriate. I can now kill an Ironbark. Oh god, is he gonna swipe me? I totally forgot about spells the druids can have, because I don't have any. He has a Starfall for 3 across the board that will, of course, kill my Frostwolf Warlord, but without some further help, my Sen'jin will hang on in there. Oh man, what has he got? A Wrath? Oh, he's gonna Wrath and draw a card. Ugh, and he's gonna get another card off of this guy. So he's doing pretty good. I really don't need to get my Innervate right now. That would just be the worst thing. Blue Warrior, almost as bad. So we're going to kill this, play an Ogre. He's going to have 4 cards to my 3, but I have an Ogre on the table. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If he can swipe the Ogre, kill off my other guys, and then also finish the Ogre off with another Wrath, I am going to be in trouble here, actually, if he has any spells. That's that. Now, why did I play this guy? Maybe it would have been better to hold him in my hand. I mean, I've got plenty of mana. I figured it was better to apply as much pressure as I can since I'm going to need it. Oh, God. Knife Juggler is an abomination here. He's got a 50-50 chance of killing my stuff. He plays Sunwalker. Luckily, it hits the Ogre, so at least that's something. Oh, jeez. Not looking good. Well, at least I'll get to kill the Knife Juggler and the Sunwalker, leaving this guy with 2 health. Power of the Wild, what's better, the buff or the creature? The creature's actually better, I think, here. Because the buff, this guy will still die when it hits the Knife Juggler. So all I'd be doing is just making that guy at 7/3. Yeah, we need the Panther. So 2 cards to 3, if he can get a swipe, he'll clear my board and have 2 cards left over. Or a Starfall. Bummer, man. I'm behind. Even though I've got this Ogre, I am behind. Alright, can he play out his whole hand? Stampeding Coda does nothing except buff the Adventurer. Can he play this last card? Is it a Wrath? It's a Shield Bearer, so he can, which is critical because it puts us up to 4 health. Bummer. Alright, Violet Teacher is a nice thing to see, so we have to kill this. Shapeshift. Violet Teacher. Wow, this is quite the top deck war here. So I actually have the lead in the top deck war, because now The ogre trades with the Kodo, and I've got a Violet Teacher, so he needs to answer my Violet Teacher. I have an Innervate in here, which is waiting to be drawn. It's a totally dead card. It does nothing. He draws a pretty bad card himself, which is good. And he actually makes the correct play. Hitting the Violet Teacher means our boards all trade, as opposed to hitting the ogre, when the Violet Teacher would live to tell about it. He hits the ogre, or the Violet Teacher. That really makes no sense. I don't know why he did that. So now we will kill off the ogre like this. And I'm gonna get 6 damage in here. It's a top deck war, so yes, he could get like a Wrath off the top and kill my ogre or something crazy, but I have to take those risks. I gotta get the damage through. And I'm threatening lethal now, so if he does top deck like a vanilla non-interactive card, he's gonna be in some serious trouble. Got a Fen Creeper, which is not what I needed to see at all. Crap. So I can't get past this. There's nothing I have that would get past this. I do have like 2 Druids of the Claw in here, which are better than this. So hopefully I will draw them and not my Innervate. That's not helpful.
Shields up.
Should I run into this thing? Is that worth it? Nope. So you got a really good top deck. Unfortunately, I was not able to get 3 damage through, which is really huge. He gets another really good top deck. Crap. So he was actually behind in this top deck war, but he just stone cold pulled out of it. Even if he had gotten these in the opposite order, it would have been really, really good for me. Alright, finally I get a Druid of the Claw. Thank the heavens. So this will stand up to the Yeti. What I can do now is I can actually, well, hang on. I could use the Sunfree Protector and Shapeshift to kill the Fen Creeper, but this thing has taunt, so the Yeti could kill it. If I just throw this away, I'm not getting 1/1s out of my spells, but this thing might actually live, which I think is really important. Right now, with what he has on the board, he cannot kill this Druid of the Claw, so he has to top deck and answer for it. And I've got a Mark of Nature in here, which would be the win. I also have an Innervate, which would be a dead turn. It's a very tense top deck war. He's got a Bolt of his Ogre. Oh my gosh, he is top decking some pretty good Shazatzicles. Now I've got 4, 6, 7 damage. He's at 9 health. Fairy Dragon is not what I needed.
I got this.
Not at all. But the good news is that with what he has on the board, he can only kill 2 of my creatures. So if this is a non-interactive card, I will actually kill him with my creature plus Shapeshift. So yeah, this needs to be a non-interactive card. I will even settle for a Boulder Fist Ogre here. That's totally fine. No taunt, no life gain, no removal. Boba says, last time I was on a top deck war with the Druid, he had 3 Starfires. That is painful. Yes! Oh, yes. Non-interactive card, he will die. Oh, God, that was... Well, we had to really fight for it to get our 7th win here. He drew 4 more cards than I did that game, too. But unfortunately, 3 of his cards don't matter because he dies. And I have to admit, I got very lucky in that top deck war, but so did the opponent with that Fen Creeper, so we'll just say we both got one. And should I say well played? I should really say well played.
Well played.
This is a first for the stream today, folks. Today we made history. This is the first time I've ever done this well in a stream, because I had 3 arenas in a row that went to 7. Kinda crazy if you ask me. So we had a 12-win run, a 7-win run, and then this is at least a 7-win run. Flynn says, my last top deck war was against a mage who top decked Pyroblast and used them on me for 3 turns in a row. I never played Hearthstone for a week after. What? Are you real? Flynn, tell me the truth. Is that real? Someone top decked 3 Pyroblasts in a row? That is unbelievable. I am very sorry. I wish something had happened. I wish something like that had happened to me so it could be immortalized forever. I've never had anything that crazy happen. Flynn says, dumb card nerf, please. Well, it has been nerfed from 8 mana to 10, so thank God for that. If that thing cost 8 mana so that the mage could also ping you while playing it, that would just be the worst. Right, we got our Power of the Wild and a Violet Teacher. Unfortunately, the odds of the Power of the Wild comboing with the Teacher are very small. I would have to get another 2-drop to be able to play instead of the Power of the Wild. Please pass, please pass. Paladins, man, you really want them to pass on turn 1. It makes it so much easier to keep their board clear as a Druid if they don't play anything on the first turn. Flynn says the story is 100% real. Wow, I hear you, man. That's painful. I can't believe that even happens. Soul Siva says hello again. Welcome back, Soul Siva. So does he have a Bluegill? Oh, I was going to say, does he have a Bluegill warrior to kill it? He actually does. So I would have actually Mark of Natured it. That would be difficult for a Paladin to deal with a 3/6 with Taunt that early. But as it is, we're going to blow both of our Power of the Wilds before the Violet Teachers come into play. Story of my life. Still, though, I can play Violet Teacher, Mark of Nature on it, make it a 3/9 taunt that brings 1/1s into play when I cast spells. That is almost impossible for a Paladin to deal with. Please don't play anything else. No, stop. Stop. Oh, it's a secret. Boo! Crap. So a Noble Sacrifice will kill my Panther. Shoot. Okay, we're going to do a slight change of plans here. Got a Mark of Nature this thing. And hope it's not Noble Sacrifice. It's Noble Sacrifice. That was an amazing Noble Sacrifice. Oh my god, I would have just killed the Berserker and played a Violet Teacher, but instead he slowed down my Violet Teacher for a whole turn with that. So he is going down a card for doing that. Maybe even down 2 cards. I mean, I invested 2 cards in this. So yeah, he's, oh Jesus, this is just the most terrible thing. So now he's gonna have an Enrage 9/4. Wow, that was the most epic Noble Sacrifice I have dealt with in a long time. Because it just stopped me from playing Violet Teacher, and it also let him do the Blessing of Kings follow-up. So much frustration here. He's in the driver's seat. I mean, he's got 6 cards to 4. I'm about to draw my 5th. I go up a card with Starfire, but that might not even be good enough. Oh, that's annoying. I am really annoyed. I'm just annoyed. There's no 2 bones about it. I am annoyed by that Noble Sacrifice. All he had to do was play the Berserker and pass the turn, but nope, he had to play 1 mana Noble Sacrifice and ruin my life. Well, if he wins, that will be a very well-deserved win. He drafted Noble Sacrifice, something I almost never do, and he won the game with a timely application of it. Enough Wrath Bolts hit this that his Squire could actually kill my Ogre, and he's gonna... Fuck you. Fuck you! Fuck you, don't you even... Blessing of Wisdom. Oh, what a motherfucker. Ah, these 1 mana spells will be the death of me. So he just cycles for a card, but the thing is, I would have otherwise maybe played a Violet Teacher, but now I have to Starfire. There's no other option. I can't let him keep drawing cards out of that thing. So I've got a handful of brilliant 4-drops, it's just that he plays first. Like, if I could play first right now, I'd be fine. But because he's playing first in this situation, I'm fucked. Ugh! Ugh, I say. Well, let's do the biggest one I've got. And let's also do this thing. So this is a dangerous enough threat, he might want to kill it instead of hitting me in the face, but he might also just be able to burn me out at this point. Okay, so he does decide to do that, which is fine. Now my Drake can kill it. Or perhaps my Stormwind Knight Dark Iron Dwarf. Which apparently is what it's going to have to be, because he just humiliated that, and he plays an Ogre. Are you goddamn motherfucking kidding me? Ugh. Ugh.
For the king!
So, Hubboras, why did you not do the Wolf Rider? It's cheaper and less valuable than Stormwind Knight. Well, the answer is I wanted to use the card that costs more mana there, even if it is a better card to have on for later. Ah, ball sacks. Man, he just will not stop playing the perfect card in every situation. I will draw a card, play No Motion Mentor, and concede. This game went straight to the dogs. He's not even bothering with this 1/6. He's playing more beefy stuff. Man. So this is actually gonna kill me. I can taunt, and it's still going to. Fine. What we'll do 1 more turn here. Actually, well no, he can kill this. 8 damage. I'm at 1 health, so 1 more damage wins. And even if he doesn't have the win this turn, he's still going to have some pretty big threats that I don't have enough power to play. Floon says, wow, this game was dumb. But it just goes to show also the importance of, like, how, like, an early play can snowball into the whole game. Like, that Noble Sacrifice won him the game. It wasn't the Avenging Wrath, the Ogre, the True Silver Champion. It was the Noble Sacrifice that won him the game. Because if I had just been able to throw my Panther at his Berserker, then I could have played my 4-drop. Instead, I had to, you know, play around the Noble Sacrifice. I could have played the 4 drops anyway, but then the Panther would have died in Noble Sacrifice. He would have put the Blessing of Kings on the Berserker, killed my 4 drop, and the exact same thing would have happened. The point is that he was able to stop me from killing his Berserker, and that allowed him to play Blessing of Kings and win. Now, if I'd had Wrath or Claw in my hand and I could have killed the Berserker with spells, that would have been fine. I could have then just used the Panther to kill the Noble Sacrifice, trade that 1 for 1, kill his Berserker, and play 4 drops the following turn. He probably had a not so good turn. I mean, whatever he was going to do if he didn't have a creature on the board was going to be worse than Blessing of Kings on a Berserker, so that would have helped me win the game. So Flynn says, some games you aren't meant to win. That's true. That was one of them. Kind of sucks, but at least it happened after I made it to 7 wins. Let's look for the bright side in this. And also this Argent Squire, which like never shows up in any of the games, finally comes along on turn 1. There is, of course, the risk of that happening. Okay, so I could play this, let him pop Divine Shield, draw a card, and then throw the Boogle Warrior and the Square at it. That's just terrible. Alright, we're going to pass the turn. God damn it. So we made it to 7 wins with a swipe-free Druid deck and relatively high style, and then all of a sudden, we're having some issues. Oh my god, thank you. Okay, so Wrath comes along in the nick of time. We can do that. Next turn, we can Boogle Warrior Squire. We have a Druid of the Claw for turn 5, which is very difficult for priests to kill, extraordinarily difficult for priests to kill. Is he going to do anything like a silence? Nope, so this is just going to die. That's perfect. Okay. This game got off to a bit of a scary start with that Northshire Cleric stopping my Argent Squire, but the Argent Squire comes along a little bit late, and out of breath, but still here. And we got a Druid of the Claw. It's almost impossible for a priest to kill it. And then also after that, I can play a Ventricle Mercenary or a Gadsden Auctioneer, depending on the situation. Now, it is tempting, of course, to save the coin for the Auctioneer. I could actually coin Auctioneer, Innervate. No, but that's just dumb. We're just going to play the Druid of the Claw and call it a day. Yoink. So, Priest's very difficult to kill this. He would have needed to play a 4-power minion and Dark Iron Dwarf to really kill it. Now he just pretty much can't, actually. Kill it in any way, and we can play Ventricle Mercenary after that.
You gotta be kidding me!
Wow. Priests, or we have a couple of double Ventricle Mercenary games here, so let's think. I could Savage Roar, which would let this trade for the Ventricle Mercenary. I could just ignore the Ventricle Mercenary and play my own. Or, yeah, let's just ignore it. It seems fine. So we're going to do this. Hit that. Swing. So now, the Ventricle Mercenary can kill my Druid of the Claw. I can trade my Ventricle for his. Play the Auctioneer, Innervate, Mark of Nature, and have a 4/8 taunt that draws me spells that a priest can't kill, because priests do not kill 4/8 taunters very well. So I think that's going to be my move. Now the only thing that could stop that is if he were to Shadow Word Death my Mercenary or play a Taunter in the way, so that I cannot enact the trade that I am thinking of. We will then have to do an alternate plan. I could do something like maybe Auctioneer, Innervate, Savage Roar. Alright. Do I do this? 4/8 taunt? Or do I take it slow, kill this, shapeshift, kill that, call it a day? I'm gonna do this. So this is a little bit of a tricky situation, but I figure it's worth doing this because it seems he doesn't have a Shadow Word Death. I bet he would have played one if he had one. I could even Mark of Nature this, but then if he top decks Shadow Word Death, that would really suck. So we're just gonna pass the turn, wait for him to play whatever big thing he's planning to play, kill it with the Ventricle Mercenary, and then I can do the Auctioneer, you know, Innervate, Mark of Nature thing. He's going to Holy Fire, which I'm okay with, because it wastes most of the heal and takes up his whole turn. Does he have a 1-drop? He doesn't. Perfect. Alright, so the question now is, do I actually do the Innervate Mark of Nature thing right now, knowing that that wastes a Mana Crystal? I can't use all my Mana Crystals efficiently. You know, I'm gonna waste a Mana Crystal with it, because I am getting cards out of the deal here. So I think a Mana Crystal is worth wasting. Especially because the odds of him being able to kill this are so small. And I'm getting 2 cards for it. And I'm gonna have I have 2 more spells that I can use here. That is worth doing. Now if I were up against a mage or a shaman with Hex and Polymorph out in the field, I wouldn't go for this kind of a move. But a priest will have a very difficult time, even with 7 cards, getting that thing to die. Holy Fire, Holy Smite maybe would work. But he's just used a Holy Fire and that is a rare, so it's not likely. Tiger suggests he just does not have an answer. And he's going to waste most of the heal. Perfect. Okay, we need to think very carefully about this. So what I could do is I could play Fairy Dragon and Frostwolf Warlord, get a really giant Frostwolf Warlord. I could play Giant Frostwolf Warlord, give it taunt. That would only be a 6/6 though. Not that exciting. The 5/5 hits me pretty hard. I can't kill this though. So maybe I could just do a couple of Power of the Wilds and draw cards off of them. Yeah, let's do that. So what we're going to do here is the following. I'm not going to give anything else taunt except for my Auctioneer. So we're going to do this.
Shields up.
This. Power of the Wilds. +1, draw a card. Power of the Wild. +1/+1, draw a card. And let's keep it simple, keep it safe. We're going to trade the Auctioneer, or sorry, the Squire for the Healer, and hit him for 6 damage. Pass the turn. We're a turn away from Mind Control. Mind Control will steal this. But I think even if he steals this, I've drawn so many cards out of it, I'd probably be okay with it, for the most part. Shadow Word Death will now kill it, of course. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. I'm dumb. The Panther stuff made this Shadow Word Deathable. Apparently it doesn't have Shadow Word Death, though, so I luck out a little bit on that front. And now this will be easier to kill if he does get a Mind Control. Okay, should I use Savage Roar here? Let's see. We have 5, 11, 15. 15 plus 8 is 23. I actually have the kill with Savage Roar. And Wolf Rider, in case I did my math wrong, as I sometimes do. Let's just play the Wolf Rider just in case. And Chaz makes a great point. If he had Shadow Word Death, he would have killed the Ventrico with it. So unless he had top deck, well, no, it's relatively safe. Alright, that was pretty sweet. The Auctioneer was the hero of that game. Must have been very frustrating to be that priest. But I'm going to give myself some credit for some skillful decision making there, which is that knowing that a priest would have a really difficult time killing a 4-power high health creature, I took a gamble that against other classes I would not have taken. Alright, so just like I wasn't meant to win the game against the Paladin, that priest was not meant to win the game against me that he just played. And we got to 8 wins. So even better than the last Shaman run. Swipeless Druid is better than Garbage Shaman, apparently. Alright, here's our Mage. Here's a mulligan the entire hand situation. Bop, bop, bop. Alright, very happy this is not a Nourish, so I can actually play this on turn 2. Please do not play Mana Worm. Please, 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 thank you. Alright, we have a lot of 2-drops, so maybe this would have actually been better as a Nourish now that I have so many 2-drops. But hey, this one can be used later, so can this one. And this one I can play on turn 2. Which is a panda. Alright, this is great. A Bluegill Warrior preserves my Knife Juggler, as it has more than once. Knife hit the face. Nope, knife hit the panda. Wasted knife. Poor, poor cross-eyed Knife Juggler. Can't hit the right target for beans. She coins into a 4-drop, hopefully something I can kill with Dark Iron Dwarf. And the Knife Juggler. It's a Water Elemental. Friggin' Jesus Christ. Alright, do I play the Dark Iron Dwarf anyway? Yeah, I do. If the knife gets lucky and hits us, I can kill it. Knife Juggler! Yeah. Well. So, I didn't see the point of running this in. And it's gonna kill my thing anyway. And I'll have to throw the Dark Iron Dwarf at this as well, if I'm so lucky. Druid of the Claw, very nice top deck here. I hope she doesn't have any fireballs.
Where shall I strike?
So we'll just do this. And I'm gonna hit her in the face. She's pretty low on life. I don't actually have that much burn in my hand, but I figure I gotta go for it. I've got 2 more Druids of the Claw in the deck. I've got Savage Roar. I've got a Wolf Rider. I might be able to burn her out. I really just want this Dark Iron Dwarf to get 1 more whack in, and then I'll be pretty content. Water Elemental and a cross-eyed Knife Juggler, holding me back. Holding me back. She has her own taunts, and I don't have any silence, so it's going to be difficult for me to get past that, unfortunately and tragically. She'll use that water elemental to get rid of that. Okay, fair enough. I could auctioneer and claw, which would help me get past the Fen Creeper and give me a card, but then the Yeti just kills it, so that seems kind of pointless. Why don't we do this? I'm going to throw away the Dark Iron Dwarf. Oh, yeah, we're gonna, sorry, I'm gonna do this first. Should draw cards first. Sunfree Protector, cute, but not cute enough. We're going to claw, kill that off. And then she can ping this, use the Yeti to kill this, but this drew me a card, so it's kind of okay. And then maybe in a few turns I can auctioneer and Power the Wild for a card. Unfortunately, I do not have a way to keep any creatures on the board at the moment, so if she has creatures to play herself, I could be in a lot of trouble. Cult Master is unfortunate because I just used my Claw, and she has 2 mana left over to ping my Dwarf, which is extremely profoundly irritating. Can't actually kill this thing at all in the slightest, and it will kill my Auctioneer if I play the Auctioneer. Frostwolf Warlord, you suck. So we're gonna do this, and this for a 5/5. Might as well do that now. It's at least somewhat threatening. If she uses the Cult Master and ping to kill it, I can get 3 damage through off the Fairy Dragon. Every point of damage helps me because she's way ahead on cards, so I'm going to need to get a little bit lucky and burn her out to get ahead in this game.
The gates are open.
Lord of the Arena, are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Well, she doesn't have enough mana left over to ping the Frostwolf Warrior, but she's going to get a card off of the Cult Master. Now, I could go Auctioneer and Power the Wild, but doesn't achieve much because I don't have enough mana to Shapeshift after that, which wouldn't let the Fairy Dragon kill it. So I just have to do the crappy thing, which is to kill this, give her a card, play that, Shapeshift, and swing at her face, hoping she has no Flame Strikes and no taunts. A dim hope, to be sure, but when you're behind, you gotta take risks, you gotta play to your outs. My outs are, some of these creatures get to keep attacking her and I can burn her out for the win. Rue the Mage. Am I gonna rue the day I was born, or is she? She pings the Divine Shield off. That looks bad for my health, and it is. Well, there were lots of things she could have had that would have been good for her. So I can't complain too much. She hits me in the face. The creature's frozen. Why not? Wrath? Well, we're gonna have to get some cards here. So let's drop this right now. We're gonna do that. Going to Wrath for 3 damage. Actually, you know what? I could Wrath for... Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to Wrath for 1 damage, and then we're going to Shapeshift to finish it off. I just have to hope she doesn't kill my Gadget and Auctioneer. Lots of ways for Mage to kill it, but when you're behind, you got to take risks. So we now Shapeshift to finish the wild. I just have to hope she can't kill it with 7 cards. So no Fireball, no Frostbolt, and no charging 4-power creatures. Risky, but I have to take that risk. Just a Flame Strike. Well, it could be worse. At least she spends her whole turn doing that. And she plays an Ooze, which I really don't like to see. Alright, so what do we do here? Well, the only thing that we can do, I'm going to Druid of the Claw, charge. Wolf Rider, charge. Power of the Wild. Let's wait for 9 damage. She's at 4 health. So I will not be able to kill her with Shapeshift before she kills me. That's a fact. But I do have, I think, 1 more Druid of the Claw in here. A Stormwind Knight would deal 2 damage. I've already used Dark Iron Dwarf. I have a Starfire in here, which will kill her on the spot. 14 cards is a lot of cards to sift through, but it's a non-zero chance of winning, and when you're behind, you gotta take risks. She also does need to kill my creatures. She can kill the Wolf Rider for free with Ooze, but she has to have a way to deal with the 5/5. Okay, so she can now kill the 5/5. Now she needs 2 damage somehow. Not that hard to come by. Farseer heals her, but that's not as good as killing this. She needs to kill this. Or play a taunt. Oh, no taunt. No kill. She's a secret. There are very few secrets I would not care about. Vaporize and Ice Armor would both be problematic. Well, we gotta go for it. It's not either one of those. Holy crap. Alright, well, let's Shapeshift. Hit her. See if it's a mirror entity. It isn't. Okay, so that's its own kind of problem, because she can now clear my board with what she's got on the table. If this is Counterspell, it stops Starfire from being a win. If it is Ice Block, it stops anything from being the win. And it takes me 2 turns to kill her, which with 20 health, if she's spending all of her creatures killing my stuff is fine, but if she has like a Flame Strike to clear my board and uses the creatures to hit me, then 2 turns is way too long. Okay, she has a Dark Iron Dwarf, so whatever. She was going to be able to kill everything anyway. It didn't actually matter. I'm really happy to see this, so it means she has no removal. I can maybe win by shapeshifting her to death if she doesn't have any taunts. She would have played a taunt if she had one, certainly, so here we go. Shapeshift. Swing. I top deck a taunt, which is not as good as top decking the win, but we'll take it. So now I'm threatening to win with Shapeshift, and I'm also going to win if I get a Stormwind Knight, unless it's Ice Block, and I'll win with Starfire unless it's Ice Block or Counterspell. And we know it is Counterspell, Spellbender, or Ice Block. She actually concedes. Apparently it was not Spellbender, or sorry, apparently it was not Ice Block, and apparently she had no taunt. Wow, that was quite the razor's edge, but I'm going to give myself some credit. I mean, I went for the burnout victory. I'm 100% certain I would have lost if I tried to fight fair, so it was a good strategic call giving me a chance to win. An unlikely chance, but a chance nonetheless, and you know what they say in Papa Boris University. Good players get lucky more often than bad players because they give themselves more chances to get lucky. Mustard Mitt says, GG, thank you. Yes, I think that was a good game. Blue L Thunder says, holy crap, I'm super duper late. Hello, everyone. And Blue L, you were noticed. Someone was like, hey, Blue L isn't here. So you are quite the famous man in the Papa Boris stream. On a Blue Doc says, Blue L, you made it. Yes, indeed. All right, another mage. Is this the same mage? Da Bing Xiang. Okay, that's a weird name. Starfire arrives the game late, like it do. And the Argent Squire will be our turn 1 play. I have a feeling that mage was very angry with how that game went. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 curve. Unfortunately, we're the second player where that's not so impressive. Greetings. No Mana Worm. Good start already. Okay, she says hello again. I'm not going to say greetings again. We're not going to do this endless emoting. We're just going to play an Argent Squire and do the damn game. Alright, so she plays that. Which I could play this. Let me think about this. I could shapeshift this and pop that, leaving me with a 1/1, or I could play this, pop that. I think it's actually better to do this because with the playing of the Fairy Dragon, sure, she can kill my guy, but she cannot ping the Fairy Dragon because it can't be targeted. She can kill my Argent Squire, but that leaves me with a 3/2. I'm content to lose the Argent Squire, to have it trade for a 2-drop, basically, and get a 3/2 left over. Loot Hoarder, that's another story. So I don't really want Loot Hoarder to eat the Fairy Dragon. So we are going to, for that, shapeshift, even though I would much rather do something else. Right, we have the Violet Teacher and the Gadgetzan Auctioneer ready to rip, roar, and go. If I could be so lucky. Violet Teacher, then like Gadgetzan Auctioneer, Innervate, Power of the Wild for cards and all that stuff. But I need an Innervate, so the coin is not quite good enough. I need Innervate right here. Alright, Druid of the Claw. Okay, so I could coin a Druid of the Claw out. I'm going to make a more conservative play. We're just going to shapeshift, hit this, and yes, I'm using up my Power of the Wild. But I think it's worth it because it keeps the board clear, keeps me with board presence, keeps my coin for a card or a student, which I don't go out of my way to do, but if it's, reasonable to do so, I will. And I'm going to play Druid of the Claw next turn, which is a strong card. Unfortunately, mages have 2 common answers to it. And that's actually an uncommon one. Wow, so many Ventricle Mercenaries today. What is this, like Venture Company headquarters? Jesus. Okay, how do we do this? I could do what that other Druid guy did, which is play this with charge and swing at him for 7. Alright, we'll try it. Basically, unlike the other Druid who just like kept on charging past the Ventricle Mercenary, I am content to have the Ventricle Mercenary die to 2 of my cards. It's just that playing a 4/6 was kind of pointless, because if the Ventricle Mercenary runs into it, I'm giving up 4 damage for nothing. Now, if she fireballs this or something, I still am giving up 4 damage for nothing. Frostbolt, that's a problem, because Frostbolt is the 4/6 would have survived, so I kind of put myself at risk to Frostbolt, but I still think it's a reasonable choice that I made. Alright, so now what we're going to do here is the following. Actually, I need to think about this for a sec. I need to make sure I don't get hit too much with this thing. Okay, let's do this. Put this in the middle. Swing for 3, so I'm hedging my bets. I'm still kind of racing against this Ventricle Mercenary by not killing it. but I'm also not letting it attack me very easily. Flame Strike won't quite work. This thing would survive with a sliver of health, and she doesn't have a Flame Strike anyway. She's going to play that. Now she's going to kill my Violet Teacher, of course. That is the best creature that I have. And we have a Stormwind Knight. Alright, let's take a look at our options. I could Auctioneer, Coin, Claw, Shapeshift to kill that. Yeah, I'm doing that. That's so many cards. That's very good. So we're going to, I guess, Coin first in case I get something that changes my mind. Frostable Forelord is a good card, but I can't really play it. Claw to get another card. Shapeshift. Kill this. Kill this. And swing for 2. I think this actually worked out really well. So now she has 6 cards to my 7. Flame Strike would leave her with 5 cards to my 6, and I could repopulate relatively well with Knife Juggler. I don't have exactly the right mana costing cards. I could just do a Gnomish Mentor and a Stormwind Knight. She has the perfect answer to my Gadgeon Auctioneer. Tragically, she just kills it and leaves herself with a creature on the table. That's actually really annoying. But at least we have... Gotta think about this. I could just play this with Charge again. 6, take her down to 9. No, let's not go too crazy here. Let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. We're gonna do Knife Juggler and Stormwind Knight. That leaves me with 2 mana. Oh, that's terrible. There's no point in doing that. Yeah, let's just draw a card. Maybe I'll get, like, something good. Power of the Wild. Nope. Do this. Kill that. No point running into the Mana Worm, so I'll just hit her in the face with that. And, okay, so now I've got 4 damage, 5 surprise damage, 6 with Shapeshift. I really need to keep an eye on my potentials to burn her out for the win, because I do have a bunch of creatures here. If any of these live, Power of the Wild becomes really good. Okay, don't play Defender of Argus. Don't play Sunfree Protector. Okay. Can I win? I have... This is 3 damage. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 7, 9, 11. Are ya goddamn kidding me? I can get up to 12. Let's check that again. 4, 6, 8. 8 plus 3 is 11, 12. Alright. 12 damage. Well, since I can't quite kill her, well, let's hedge our bets. I'm going to play Knife Juggler, Druid of the Claw, for some protection. We will now play this to beef up our team and get 2 damage through, and swing for 6.
I got this.
So the idea here is I've got this 5/7 taunt for her to break past, and I have all these creatures that need to die, and she hasn't played Flame Strike before, where Flame Strike would have been good. So if she doesn't have a Flame Strike, I'm in good shape. If she has a Flame Strike, I'm a little bit screwed. She's a Polymorph. Okay, it's not a Flame Strike, so no Flame Strike here. Let's see what she can do besides that. Priest of Elune to heal up, that's fine. She could have done way more damage to me by killing my stuff than by healing for 4. So she can kill some of, but not all of, my creatures, which is really great. Okay, so she freezes that, doesn't kill it, and she kills the sheep, leaving me with just 3 damage. Very smart, savvy play. Savage Roar! Okay, 3 plus 4 is 6, 7 damage. She has 3, 5, 10 damage, which is a little bit scary. Okay, so I'm going to keep it a little bit safe. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to Shapeshift, mainly for the life gain, not so much for the damage. Because I think that extra health could make all the difference. Now, if she has a Pyroblast, she wins. This is 10 damage here, and I'm at 20 exactly, but anything short of Pyroblast, well, 2 Fireballs will win. You know, the usual stuff that will deal 10 damage if you're a mage. Yeah, actually, it's not that hard for a mage to deal 10 damage, but 3 cards, it's a little bit unlikely. 2 of them have to be Fireball, or 1 has to be Pyroblast. If she starts attacking me, then you know she's got the kill. If she starts attacking my stuff, she's probably gonna die. She's attacking my stuff. Okay, so we're in good shape, I think. Probably. Ogre. Chaz is talking in the chat about how bad my Shaman deck was. Don't forget, no Fire Elemental. He just got that in as I was saying it. There was nothing good in that one. It was remarkably bad. So, okay, we got 6, 7 damage here. My opponent needs to... Okay, she freezes a creature and plays a Berserker, which is fine. So 3 plus 4 is, okay, 7 damage. I can actually deal 8 damage this turn. Oh, bad Druid of the Claw, for God's sake. I'm going to do a little Bad Manner Savage Roaring and attack for the win. So, My Shaman deck did have 3 hexes, to be fair, but it also didn't have any Stormforged axes, so it just really didn't have anything except for a hex and a Rockbiter weapon. It's pretty crazy. Blue Elf Thunder says, well, that's something, in response to the earlier claim that it had nothing in it. Here we are, 10 wins with Druid. I recently crossed an item off my bucket list. I made it to 12 wins with the Druid. I don't know if this deck will make it to 12 wins, but observe, please! Swipe free deck over here. Making it to 10 wins, even if I lost the next game. Just goes to show if you've got some good spells and a nice solid mid game, you can succeed, you can thrive. And also a lot of 2s. I drafted two drops pretty aggressively to the point where I had to put the brakes on it completely in the second half of the draft, but they've really been helpful. Pretty much every game I've had something to do on turn 2, and that helps me, you know, get ahead. Alright, Starfire has not been that much of a winner in this draft, but we do have the Fairy Dragon Power of the Wild. Oh my god, there was one game that either I lost or I almost lost because I played like Fairy Dragon Innervate Power of the Wild or something, and the opponent had Claw Savagery at 2 mana to kill both. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to play the Fairy Dragon and pass the turn on over. Let's see if he's got anything better to do than make a totem. Hopefully not. Chaz says, oh god, not this hand again. Chaz remembers. He remembers. Alright. I will innervate into Druid of the Claw. Now you might say, Papa Boris, why not wait until turn 4 and innervate into Bolt of Festoger? Well, the reason is that Power of the Wild is still useful later. I don't need to use it now. And if he has a Hex, on turn 3 facing a 4/6 taunt, he will use it. So I might as well just get the Hex out of the way. One less Hex for Bolt of Festoger to face. And I certainly rather have this get innervated and hexed than this get innervated and hexed, especially if it means doing something lame on turn 4, which Power of the Wild on turn 3 is a pretty lame play. I don't have anything to do next turn, sadly, just Power of the Wild and Wrath, maybe. It's playing a 4-drop, interesting. Is it going to be a Chillwind Yeti? Oh my gosh, it is. Can I get a Dark Iron Dwarf? I cannot. Couple of ways to deal with this Yeti. I could Power the Wild to buff my team and then just run my thing into it, leaving it 2 things at 3 health. I could Wrath it, draw a card, and throw this at it, leaving it at 2 health, but drawing a card in the process. But then I'm losing the Wrath for the Auctioneer, but then of course I'm losing the Power of the Wild for the Auctioneer. What is more likely to be good? We're going to go for the Power of the Wild. I'm not 100% certain this is the right move. Wait. Then I have mana left over and Shapeshift is pointless. So really, what's the point of doing that? If I'm going to be Shapeshifting, I might as well just run into this thing and then not play either of these? No. Here's the move. We're going to do that. We're going to Shapeshift. We're going to play this as a Panther. Keep that board presence coming. And if he has a Lightning Storm or even a Forked Lightning, well then we'll cry. But Lightning Storm is a rare. Either one would be Overload, and then I could play the Auctioneer, and with Overload, he'd have a hard time killing the Auctioneer because it has 4 health. Flynn Terrence says, Papa Boris, why not wait until turn 4 and innervate into Bolt of Festoger? Great question. I don't know if that was a lag delay, but I did just answer that question, so I don't know if you're trolling me. If so, haha. And if not, I'm sorry that your chat waited so long to appear into the, your question waited so long to appear into the chat. So does he have a Lightning Storm? No, he does not. This Shaman does not have the answers. He has just a humble Wolf Rider. Alright, so I am going to play the Auctioneer. Shamans actually don't have the easiest time killing that guy. And I mean, what's the alternative? Shapeshift and wait? Yeah, if he kills it, sure, I won't get cards out of it, but I figure it was worth it. Because 4 damage is a little bit difficult for a Shaman to do, especially on turn 5 when you don't have things like Argent Commander yet. So I've got a good hand here. I can next turn Starfire if he plays anything big, or I can just play Bolt of Festoger if he doesn't. He's going to actually silence the Auctioneer. I'm going to give him a Well Played. So I could Starfire that, but I'd much rather get the Ogre. The incident with the Innervated Druid of the Claw demonstrated that my opponent did not have a Hex at the time. So he probably still doesn't have a Hex, which means this Ogre is impossible for him to deal with. Flynn says chat lag needs a nerf. No kidding, man. No kidding. Alright, now the Starfire I might actually want to use on his face just to win the game. this point, if I can possibly manage that, that'd be the greatest. Fire Elemental kills my Fairy Dragon, but Starfire kills the Shaman. Willem the Shaman, like Willem Dafoe. So we smackety, dackety, dackety, do. Wolf Rider Shapeshift would have done it as well, but that would have taken more cards. Alright, that was a pretty solid win. Just got off to a fast start, the opponent didn't have a hex at the end. Innervate has been remarkably good this run. Watch me lose my last game because Innervate shows up at the worst time, but it has never shown up when it was useless, and it's helped me get some good things out. So we're 11-2, which would mean we'd be making complete history here. Not only the first time ever I've had a stream where everyone made it to 7, but that would be the first stream ever where I had 2 runs going to 12. That would be quite remarkable. I've actually never done this period. I've never had 2 runs go to 12 in one day. Furthermore, I don't think I've ever had a day where I had 2 runs go to 11, so that is pretty cool. I'm second against a rogue, which makes me optimistic. Let's keep the early removal and the early creature. I'm actually really nervous. This is like the most nervous I've probably ever been on this stream or playing Hearthstone. Blue Out Thunder says, pretty sure this has been discussed, but what does everyone think of the new Hunter card? And yes, we had discussed that at length. The overwhelming opinion was, seems good. Now, I'm going to claw this Leper Gnome to preserve the coin. And the reason for that is that I feel like I might want to use this coin to make an early Twilight Drake or something else. And, I mean, I could have coin Shapeshift, kept the claw. I don't know, it's a tough call. You can go either way with that one, but I figured it was worth it to just keep the coin for now, since I might want to use it later. Alright, let's play the Sunfrey Protector. The reason why is that the Knife Juggler would die to Novice Engineer plus Dagger, so this makes it harder for my opponent to get the kill on the creature that I just played. Does she have a Backstab Dagger? She doesn't. She's going to hit me in the face. Interesting choice. That means she has no deadly poisons, I presume. And she will... wow, this is very bizarre play. This is a really bizarre play for a 11-win player. Very bizarre indeed. I could play Fairy Dragon, or I could play a Chillwind Yeti. We'll play the Chillwind Yeti. I think it's worth it to use the coin right there. Because next turn I can do 2 plays. I can do the Knife Juggler and the Fairy Dragon. And I've got a Chillwind Yeti in place. I don't need to save the coin for the Druid of the Claw, because in time we'll be passing the Twilight Drake by anyway. So Blue Elf Thunder, one of the interesting points of our discussion that I'm not sure you know about is that the new card, the Web Spinner dealie, actually can draw any beast card in the game, which is, I think is pretty wild. So now I can play the Knife Juggler and a Fairy Dragon and hope the knife hits the Violet Teacher, then I can just kill it with the Twilight Drake. A more conservative approach is just to hit the Violet Teacher with the Twilight Drake and Shapeshift, and just play the Knife Juggler. I'm going to go for it. I think it's worth it, because if this works well, it'll be exceptionally good. And if not, I'll just throw away the Sunfrey Protector. As it is, it misses. Okay. So, do I hit her for 6, or do I throw this... do I let her keep a Violet Teacher? I'm going to hit her for 6. I don't know that it's the right play necessarily, but if you'll observe, I mean, she can get some 1/1s by playing some spells. As long as those spells aren't killing my team, I'm okay with it, because I've got 4 damage here and Starfire there. Now, the Fan of Knives is, I was just about to say, the one spell I really don't want to see, because that puts everything down to 1 health. Which was rather perilous. She can now, if she actually daggers anything and takes damage, I'm pretty okay with that. Am I really going to try to go for a burnout victory here? I might be. I might be. The Knife Juggler is my most dangerous creature. It looks like that is what she's going to go for. Taking 3 damage. So I've got 3, 5, 5 plus 4 is 9. She's at 5 health. She is dead to the Starfire next turn. So I'm just going to do this. I mean, the only thing that she can now do to win is play a life gain, and I'm still at 27 health, so I've got plenty of time to find my other Druids of the Claw, my Wolf Rider, my Bluegill Warrior, my, I think those are the only cards I have that deal direct damage. So yeah, otherwise she just loses to Starfire. Fan of Knives. Okay, so no Priestess of Elune here or anything like that. She just draws a card, gets a student. And does she have an Earthen Ring Farseer? Oh my god, she has an Earthen Ring Farseer. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. We still win in a few turns. And we do Blue Warrior, Shapeshift. Smackety, smackety. Now she, again, is in the point where a Starfire will kill her. She needs another Earthen Ring Farseer or a Priestess of Balloon. And she also needs to take care of this with one of her students. I still have plenty of time. I'm at full health. I got plenty of time to top deck one of my Druids with a Claw. Savage Roar is another card I could get. Eviscerate. Alright, there it is. 12 wins twice in one stream. Oh my god, that is unbelievable. Well, what can I say? I'm just freaking awesome at this game. Played.
Well played.
I don't think that person was at 11 wins. She made some extremely questionable and dubious plays in the beginning, smacking a creature with a dagger when it wasn't going to die, just stuff like that. I don't think that person played right. I think that was a low-ranked player. Something might be weird with the Blizzard matchmaker giving you weak players when you're at 11, but who cares? We made it to 12 wins! Are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus! What a good way to end the stream. If you're on YouTube, thanks for watching all these games. I appreciate your patronage. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And let's go ahead and pop open the prizes. Golden Temple Enforcer and an extra pack. Great. So I get 250 gold and 50 dust. So let's go into my collection and check out my new cards. Which cards do I want to dust? Golden. I have a golden swipe. That's very good. Just winding down here. So if you want to go, you can go. The stream is done. Thank you so much for watching. But if you want to just stick around and hang out with me for a little bit, let's see. Golden Eagle Hornbow. I believe that would get used in a Hunter deck, so I'll keep that. And Boba asks, should I open 12 or the 10 packs on stream? Oh, sure. What the hell? Why not? Temple Enforcer. That's a junk card. I would never play with that in the deck. Total trash. Okay, it's not total trash. That's a little bit harsh. Shadow Step. I'm never going to play Miracle Rogue. If I ever play Miracle Rogue, somebody kill me. Flynn says, where's the Papa Boris Happy Fun Time bonus hour? Man, it's going back. That is classic Papa Boris. Ancient Papa Boris, you could say. Wind Speaker. Oh, I wish I could disenchant that just so it didn't exist. And what did I get here? A Golden Slam? Ooh, I would definitely use a Golden Slam. Okay. Apparently I have stuff to do in crafting mode, but if anyone wants to just watch 10 packs be opened for absolutely no reason, let's do it. I could hold on to these. I think the optimal strategy is to hold on to them until Blizzard ever, in case Blizzard ever makes an expansion with new cards. But I might as well just, use the dust I have to craft the new cards if that's the case. So, pack number 1. Looking for good golden cards. And there's some epics I don't have that I'm looking for as well. Okay. That's not relevant. So good golden cards and a few epics I don't have is all that matters. Okay. Nothing to do, nothing to see here. Blood Sail. Blood Sail Corsair, aka 100 dust. Good times. Ooh, an epic Shadow Form. I think I have 2 of those, tragically. I have 2 of most of the epics. There's just a handful, like 8 or so, that I don't have 2 copies of. Alright. Nothing to see here. And just 2 packs left. That was probably a below average quality pile of 10 packs. Sends Demons? Okay. That was a below average quality of 10 packs, but hey, I had above average luck before this, which enabled me to complete my set in the first place, so I can't complain too much. Actually, oh no, the Shadow Form is there. Yeah, there's the 1 epic, so we get 515 dust. Also known as I get an epic of my choice. Okay. I love how this disenchant button causes the game to crash. It used to be you just click the button, you got the dust. Now it's you click the button and Hearthstone crashes, making all these cool swirls. Okay, Hearthstone is completely frozen. My mouse cursor is like hovering. It's turning into that blue spinning wheel. Great. Well, anyway, if Hearthstone manages to not completely crash, we'll go ahead and check out the new golden cards, Disenchant That Pirate. And